Metallica with Atlas Rise. This is the third single off of Hardwired to Self-Destruct, which we're just a couple of weeks away from. We can almost consume this album like the Halloween candy that will be consumed tonight. They dropped Atlas Rise on Halloween. It's spoopy, everybody. Actually, what's really spooky is that they have dropped a third consecutive really, really strong song. And we've definitely gotten a little bit of an idea of what the first disc of this double album is going to be all about. I think that second disc is being really saved up, considering there's going to be a couple of curveballs on there. There's not been a lot with these three. We've gotten the traditional thrash metal style of the 1980s with the title track, and then with Moth in the Flame and Atlas Rise, we have something that has a little bit of a mixture between newer thrash metal style from Metallica, as well as the new wave of British heavy metal. That's what we have here with Atlas Rise. It's new wave of British heavy metal. The only real resonance of thrash is within the aggression of the verses, as well as just the overall aggression of some of these riffs. This is a band that's not necessarily going to aim to reinvent themselves. A lot of bands do need to understand this is a band that's instead just going to tweak their sound a little bit here and there in order to really give it a new sounding register, and that's what they do with this song. It's draped with the new wave of British heavy metal, and there's even some Iron Maiden influence that you can hear within the chorus and within the solo of this track, and that's something that's kind of neat. You get a little bit of maybe a hallowed be thy name within the chorus, and then whenever you hear the solo, that's where it starts to become a little bit more real. You hear some of that gallop, you hear some of those familiar sounds that definitely feel like they are lifted directly from the 1980s and placed into Kirk Hammett's guitar in order to give this song a lot more depth. You know, you add James into the mix there for some dynamisy, and then you add in Robert as well as Lars for the percussive side that definitely sort of takes you back in time. This is almost like we're in Chrono Trigger and we stepped into the portal and it's 1986 or maybe even 1982. Maybe I'm not going old enough. But this is a song that has a nice vintage feel to it. The only thing that doesn't have that drapery is really in James's voice, which is no longer that youthful, more imperfect sound that we heard on albums such as Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning. It's instead a little bit better produced, very well managed, and of course, he's practiced and has had a coach for years. The song itself, though, is very well tailored, considering we have gotten used to, with Metallica, kind of a structure, and we have gotten used to some solos maybe being cut a little bit short in order to get to the latter portion of a song, you know, kind of get to and rush that finish. We don't get that with this song. Instead, we have solos. It's plural, and Kirk is really on fire with this track. I really enjoy what they're able to do with this, and he and James are kind of just playing around a little bit, and it definitely works. And they do sort of build up that sort of, you know, old school mythological feeling a little bit with their musical, with the musical register that they have, the way in which they're able to just slowly but surely build things up going into that second solo. Very nicely done. So we're just a couple weeks away from Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and I cannot tell you I can't tell you how psyched I am about it, because it's off the chains. These are three great songs. This is another good song, and I like the way that it follows up Hardwired, because it gives it a little bit of company, but also a little bit of difference. They're like brothers that have taken two different paths in life, but both of them still feel like family. I want to know what you think about Atlas Rise. I want to know your feelings about what Hardwired to Self-Destruct is going to be. Let me know in the comments below. I'm coverkillernation. I'll see you in a couple weeks whenever we talk about the album. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to know my thoughts and feelings about the other Metallica albums and the singles from Hardwired to Self-Destruct, check out the playlist to your left. You can also check out the new Hail Spirit Noir album review to your right, subscribe to the channel, or check out my Patreon. My name is coverkillernation, and I thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.